And welcome back to the program and on to ASEAN interview. Of course, as always, we have an interesting topic.
Let's check it out. Chinese President Xi Jinping held talks with Brunei's Sultan Haji Hassan Al Bolkiah in Beijing, calling for stronger ties between both countries. The two leaders agreed to jointly make a plan for future cooperation between the two countries and boost the China-Brunei relationship to develop more in the new period to bring more benefits to people of both countries. Describing China and Brunei as close neighbors across the sea and reliable friends and partners, Xi said the two countries have established strategic cooperation relations since the establishment of diplomatic ties. And political mutual trust has been deepened, and mutually beneficial cooperation has yielded great achievements despite differences in national conditions and social systems. The two countries should keep high-level exchanges, constantly deepen political mutual trust, and continue to understand and support each other on issues of core interest and major concerns, according to Xi during the meeting. China appreciates Brunei's positive response to the Belt and Road Initiative and is willing to work together with Brunei to take the joint construction of the project and the opportunity to strengthen cooperation in infrastructure, energy, halal food, agriculture and fishery, and digital economy under the principle of achieving a shared growth through consultation and collaboration. This comes from Xi as well. The two sides should strengthen defense and law enforcement cooperation and lift mutual trust and cooperation between armies of both countries to a new height. Also strengthen exchanges and cooperation in culture, education, sports, health, tourism, media, and local exchanges to consolidate public support for friendship between the two countries. She said, the two countries should also deepen cooperation in regional and international affairs and strengthen communication and coordination within the United Nations, Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation, and other frameworks. The president went on to say that China appreciates Brunei's efforts in strengthening the China-ASEAN relations and hopes to synergize China's Belt and Road Initiative with ASEAN's development plan to promote the upgrading of the bilateral relations and boost the building of the ASEAN community. The situation in the South China Sea is easing at present, and she said it's presented a positive development tendency. And China would like to join hands with Brunei and all related parties to build the South China Sea a sea of peace, friendship, and cooperation. Now, for his part, Hassan Al said Brunei would congratulate China on its great achievements in building the nation. Brunei supports the Belt and Road Initiative proposed by China and believes the Chinese dream of the great rejuvenation of the Chinese nation will definitely be realized. The Sultan said the Brunei-China relationship has upheld a good momentum of development since establishment of diplomatic ties, and cooperation in many fields have achieved fruitful results. Brunei, he says, will continue to uphold the One China policy. Brunei is also pushing forward its 2035 blueprint. It welcomes Chinese enterprises to participate in this process and invest and develop businesses in Brunei. Hassan Al also said Brunei is willing to strengthen practical cooperation with China as well in agriculture, fishery, energy, infrastructure, halal food, and digital economy. Brunei is also willing to keep high-level exchanges with China to further expand people-to-people exchanges and work together to maintain peace and stability of the South China Sea to push the ASEAN-China relationship constantly forward. Xi and Hassan Al witnessed the signing of documents of bilateral cooperation in the Belt and Road construction, its infrastructure, health, and other areas as well after the meeting. Chinese Premier Li Keqiang also met Hassan Al on the same day. Li said China and Brunei always respect each other and treat each other as equals, and the bilateral relationship continues to develop. The Premier said President Xi has successfully held talks with Hassan Al and jointly made an overall plan for the future development of their relationship. China is willing to consolidate political mutual trust with Brunei and expand cooperation in trade and investment, as well as infrastructure, energy, finance, and science and technology, as well as strengthen people-to-people exchange to boost development of regional economic integration. Now, Li says he appreciates Brunei's constructive role in promoting development of the China-ASEAN ties. He said ASEAN is the priority of China's neighboring diplomacy. Meanwhile, China is willing to synergize the Belt and Road Initiative with ASEAN's development strategy and work to boost the new round of series of leaders' meetings on the East Asia cooperation to yield more achievements coming from Li. Hassanallah said Brunei attaches great importance to developing ties with China and appreciates their stance on strengthening ties with ASEAN. So the Sultan says he believes a new round of ASEAN-China leaders meeting will promote the ASEAN-China relations and cooperation and thus gain greater achievements.
And that was the ASEAN interview for this week. It wraps up our show as well. See you next week. สวัสดีค่ะ
สวัสดีค่ะ